Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies with your host, Jason Marshall.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for downloading the show. It's the podcast Christmas episode, and it's going to be a good one. Just like any other family getting together for the holidays, I have all the podcast regular guests with me on this episode. And right off the bat is one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, Benny Mack. How you doing, man?
I am doing great. Hey, it's so good to be back with the family for Christmas. Oh, you get that sort of the warm, fuzzy feeling inside. You feel like you're part of something big, and it's awesome to hear your voice. So, Father Marshall, as we call him this time of year.
It's good to have you back on, man.
You too, buddy. It's awesome.
What are you getting into for Christmas this year, Benny?
What am I doing today?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just about to head off to a family. We have a pig on a spit. Sometimes it's a lamb. And a few family members get up early in the morning and they roast it. And by lunchtime, it's ready. And that's how we do it. It's a beautiful feast. And by afternoon, everyone's just exhausted from the day that it's usually just sort of maybe go for a swim at the beach and finish the day off with a whole lot of ice cream. Pavlova, which is sort of like a meringue, a big meringue cake, lots of fresh cream, lots of strawberries.
That sounds like a fun time, man. Most people who are listening to this, they live in America. A lot of them don't know it's actually summertime in New Zealand right now.
Yeah, it's a beautiful blue sky day. There's a few wispy clouds there, but everyone's going about in their shorts. A lot of people are wearing flip-flops or jandals or thongs or whatever you call them. Everyone's out getting a nice tan on and really soaking up the summer holiday season that we enjoy over here.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite right now over here. We got a lot of snow outside my door and it is freezing. So enjoy that summertime.
Like we are enjoying it. It sounds like it is blitheringly cold where you are. Blitheringly cold. I love that word. But stay warm. You know, light the old Yule log. Slide it on into the fire there, keep it turning, keep an eye on the Yule log. You wouldn't want it to sort of back burn into the living room and sort of set all the tree on fire, would you?
No, I would not. This year's the first time that we've had a Christmas in the house that we're living in, and I really didn't get into it until maybe, I don't know, about 5 days ago or so, and then I just went and decked out the entire house. I think that's the way to do it. Just wait till it's almost Christmas and then just decorate everything so you can take it down in a few days.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, you keep putting it off until the last minute. And obviously it needs to be done. You don't want to feel like a boob. You don't want to be a disappointment to the family, to the children. Of course, you've got to decorate the house. But as males, we love to leave everything to the last minute. And often the decorations are only up for 24 hours in some households.
You got that right. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Jake Hudson. He posted a video on YouTube giving me a shout out. So I want to return the gesture. I really appreciate him doing that. You can follow him on Twitter at mushroom_Hudson, HUDSON. And I'll have a link in the show notes to his YouTube channel as well, so you can check that out. Just wanted to make sure I did that before we go.
Nicely done, Mushroom.
Is there anything you'd like to promote before you go?
No, I've got nothing much to promote. I just wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. Have a great day, everyone. Don't eat too much food. Well, no, actually, scratch that. Eat as much food as you damn well like. Have a great time.
Well, Benny, I want to thank you for coming on. I'm going to play an epic rap battles of history rap battle between Santa Claus and Moses, and I'll be back.
I am UFC Hall of Famer Dan Severn, and you're listening to We Don't Have Cookies. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Moses! Was it Santa Claus? Be good. Sweet robes, orbit 1 too many days in the sun. Stop preaching, homie. Teach your flock to covet some fun. I bring joy every year, man. I represent cheer. You represent sandals and a scraggly beard. I'm from the North Pole. That's why my rhymes are so cold. I spit diamonds, but I'm serving up some fresh coal. You been a naughty boy, you brought a plague of frogs. You best arrest yourself, you broke your own law. Or was it something in Rule 6 I didn't understand? My list says killed Egyptian dude, buried him in sand. I read your book, you got a strict religion, no bacon? But mandatory circumcision. I'm a jolly bowl of jelly, giving holiday presents. But all the chosen people ever get for Christmas is jealous.
When I was high upon the mountain, God revealed the truths of the earth, but he never mentioned a fat-ass Papa Smurf. It takes 9 reindeers to haul your fat ass. You took the Christ out of Christmas and just added more mass. You need to stop breaking the houses and creeping them, peeping on naughty kids while they sleeping, and keep your hands off my stocking. Don't you ho-ho me, I split your ass in half like I did the Red Sea. You ain't a saint, you a slaver like a pharaoh in the snow. Stop with the unpaid labor and let my little people go.
We ain't slaves! Well, let's say it, turn your brains to mush!
I think you need to stop smoking all that burning bush.
Yeah, we're magical workers, man.
We hang with reindeer.
Yo, here's the GPS.
Who gets lost for 40 years?
You're a glorified secretary, so write this down.
We got these nuts.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
So much drama in the Israel BC. It's kinda hard talking directly to the G-O single D. Hand me my chisel, I got a new command missile for y'all. Thou shalt not let children sit on a grown man's lap at the mall. I'll beat you 10 times before the bread can rise, you dummy. And walk off into the land of my milk and honeys.
Hold on! Who stands? You decide!
Hey, this is Dave Nelson from Comedy A Go Go. Happy holidays to everybody.
I've tried having my next guest on a few times in the past couple of months, but UFC Hall of Famer Dan the Beast Severn kept chasing him off after Dan kicked him off the podcast as a punishment on the martial law episode they were on together. It'll probably just happen again, but I love this guy, and it wouldn't be the podcast's family gathering without him. Ladies and gentlemen, it's ChooChooStu.
Yay, how are you?
Hey.
Merry Christmas to everyone, especially you, Jason. How are you?
Thanks. I'm glad to have you on. It's been fun working with you for this past year. And Dan Severn's here.
Stu, everybody deserves a second chance. Merry Christmas.
Dan Severn, Merry Christmas to you, man.
It's a Christmas miracle, folks. I did not see that coming, but I am going to go to break before Dan changes his mind.
Hey, listeners, this is comedian Gary Henry from the show's first episode, wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Table set and the turkey's out, Christmas is here, let out a shout, the family's gathered all about. Christmas is here! Everyone is wearing big smiles, they all try to be nice for a while, then George calls his in-laws vile. Christmas is here! Oh, it's that one time of the year when everyone's troubles disappear and everyone smiles from ear to ear. Christmas is here. George has been drinking a lot, he just can't keep but of the sauce. He says his wife's been screwing her boss. Christmas is here! Margaret throws her food in his face. People are hungry, it's really a waste. Then she screams, how does that taste? Christmas is here! Oh, it's that one time of the year when everyone's troubles disappear and everyone smiles from ear to ear. Christmas is here! George picks up the carving knife, wheels it around and starts to slice. Henry cocks his shotgun twice. Christmas is here! Henry says, hey, what's the deal? Just sit down and finish your meal or I'll pump you full of steel. Christmas is here! Oh, it's that one time of the year when everyone's troubles disappear and everyone smiles from ear to ear. Christmas is here! Police arrived just after 8, responding to a noise complaint. Open the door, what a grisly face. Christmas is here! La la la, and deck the halls, blood was spattered on the wall. Merry Christmas, one and all! Christmas is here! Oh, it's that one time of the year when everyone's troubles disappear and everyone smiles from ear to ear. Christmas is here! Oh, it's that one time of the year when everyone's troubles disappear and everyone smiles from ear to ear. Christmas is here!
Merry Christmas from Mike Canestaro and my friends,
Uncle Ian.
And Pandy Kaufman.
And Betty Sue. Bless you all and very happy holidays to all of you.
It wouldn't be a Christmas episode without bringing in my next guest. She's going to help me crown a 2017 Dumbass of the Year on the next episode. But in the meantime, she's going to help me crown a Perumpadum Dumbass of the Year for December. It's Mama Kate.
Mama Kate!
How you doing?
Good.
I need to add some cheering in the background
Yeah,
every
really.
time.
Yeah, Mama Kate! Yes! I love you, Mama Kate!
So what have you been up to?
Stuff. My day just kind of flies by, and I'm like, what did I do today? You know, my husband comes home from work. He's like, what'd you do today? And I generally always say nothing, and not because I didn't do anything all day, but because it's nothing worth mentioning. Like, you want to hear about taking the kids to school, home from school, running to the store? Like, super boring. I cleaned out the cat's litter box, so praise me. You know, it's just nothing worth mentioning.
Well, we're just going to jump right into the December's Dumbass of the Year. There's only 2 nominees. It's a New Jersey woman who was pulled over for having a street sign sticking out of the sunroof of her car, which is surprisingly hard to say. You try it at home. She almost got killed. The police officer said it was very close to her head, which is crazy. She didn't even know it was there.
So I presume she hit the stop sign.
Yep.
Or hit the sign and then just proceeded to go on.
Yeah.
Okay. Because otherwise, I'm like, well, why is it illegal to drive around with the stop sign on you? I mean, let's say I go buy a decorative sign, you know, and it's sticking out of the top of my car. Is that illegal? But no, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Glass all over the inside of her car. She was totally oblivious to it. Which is
I have a hard time believing she's totally oblivious.
The next person is a delivery guy in China who fell into a fish pond in a hotel lobby while delivering food. You need to go try to find the video. I've seen it once and I couldn't find it. I was going to post it on the Facebook page. The guy's just walking along in a hotel lobby. The fish pond is just level with the floor. Oh. He's looking at the bag and what's written on it. He stumbles and hits the very edge of the fish pond, falls his entire body flat into the pond. You see all the fish just scurry to the top of the pond as quick as they can when they see this guy coming.
Well, I kind of feel like that's not really a dumbass thing. Like, that's just a thing that who puts a fish pond level with the ground, you know? I mean, that's just
and nothing
asking,
around it.
Especially people nowadays who are always looking at their phones. In fact, we were on vacation one year. We were at Put in Bay at Lake Erie, and I was at this shop that was a house that they had turned into a boutique or what have you. And I was looking to the side at stuff they had on sale on the front porch and just walked off the porch.
Oh, wow.
And messed my ankle up really bad. So then the squad came. Of course, we're at Put in Bay, which is known as a drunken place because it's like 90% bars there. And so as I'm laying like flat spread eagle on the ground, my mom's like standing over me yelling, "Get up, Kate! Get up!" People around me are jeering me, going, "Oh, I think she's had too much to drink. Drunk that one, she is." And I don't know why they sounded like Yoda, but that's just... So the squad comes, they get me up. They're like, you either get on the boat back to the mainland because it's an island, or we call care flight.
Wow.
I don't
That's
think
pretty extreme.
care flight's really necessary, but I did have to take the 25-minute boat ride back onto the mainland, go to the hospital. Andy, my husband, of course, was mad because I just ruined his drunken night. Like, they had to pull them out of the bar, you know, so that he could come take me to the hospital. Spent the rest of the vacation on crutches, having a really miserable time. So,
wow. Oh, and by the way, if anybody out there listening, if you're a Survivor fan and you want to know what Mama Kate's husband looks like, just think of Ben from this last season. Dead ringer. It's amazing.
I have to look him up because I don't watch Survivor.
I'm going to show you on my DVR once this is over. I'm sure you won't think so because you live with him, but to me, it's really close.
Spot on. Spot on. So I feel like that guy's not really a dumbass. Like, that just happens.
Yeah. So we're going to name the New Jersey woman who got pulled over for having the sign sticking out of her car.
That's dumbass.
That is.
And if you're not aware that you've just hit a stop sign and have gone on, then you should not be driving. Like,
oh, yeah.
That is complete justification for revoking your privileges. So I would come up with something other than, I didn't know.
That's the thing is, I don't condone drunk driving. I used to do it a lot back in my drinking days. I can totally see this happening.
Yeah.
I think she may have known she hit it at the time she hit it, but I think by the time the cop pulled her over, she's forgotten. All right, guys. I'm going to see if I can get Kenny Bolin and Maya on the show next. Both of them are sick right now, so we're all going to find out together after the break.
Wishing you guys a happy Merry Christmas from Los Angeles. This is Kristina Hughes from Time to Get Fancy.
I would like to transfuse a load of my blood and give it to my family for Christmas. I know I'm no use, I know I'm no good at being a Jehovah's Witness.
Hey everybody, I'm going to wish everyone in the whole entire planet Earth a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. From Frankie MacDonald, that's me. Merry Christmas, everybody. To all my fans and all my people and all my families and friends and things like that. And I'm going to wish everyone in the whole wide world a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Well, guys, I wasn't sure if he would be able to make it, but he's here. So last but certainly not least is former pro wrestling manager, actor, author, podcaster, and my good friend, the star maker, Kenny Bolin. How you doing, man?
My God, you give an introduction like that, it makes it sound like I'm a busy man.
You know what? I was wondering this the other day. Ever since I've known you, you've always been by Star Maker.
Yeah.
So how the hell do I always call you King? Because I know that was your first nickname that you came up with, or was given.
Believe it or not, I would say that still between 70 and 80% of everybody that refers to me calls me King. And my guess would be is because I still have a crown. I got a better crown now than I was when I was on television. Thanks to good old Jerry the King Lawler. I guess when that's been your nickname since you were 14 years old, I guess it just kind of sticks. But God, I don't know how much time you got for this today. But he didn't want to be called a fan. His name is Terry Brown. He's been a follower. I don't know what you want to call him. I know he doesn't know what he wants to be called. But he seemed to be a little upset with me a couple days ago because I refer to many of my people as fans. And when I put out birthday wishes, or not birthday wishes, but holiday wishes, or address everybody, I always say to my friends, fans, followers, and foes, the 4 Fs. And that way I cover everybody. That way, if you don't like me, I got you covered. And if you follow me and don't really know who the hell I am, you just click follow for no fucking reason, then I got you covered. And if you're a fan, I figure that out eventually, pretty soon, then I got that covered. And then eventually, like you and I, whether I knew you before or not, we get to a level to where we can refer to each other as friends, and I would include you in that group. Even though you've never bought any fucking merchandise. Claim you bought a book, but I can't find a receipt on that to save my damn life.
I wouldn't look for one.
I probably shouldn't look for one.
Take me at my word.
Must have been a cash deal, I guess.
I think it was, yeah.
So, but he's trying to tell me never refer to your people as, and I'm sure he's going to dispute this. And he accused me of being in a mood a couple of days ago. And he wanted me to refer to my people as friends. And now, why do you call us fans? Why can't you just call us your friend? And there's some people that don't like being called a fan. They get so comfortable with you that they now think you're a friend. But a friend is somebody like me or you. Picks up the phone, calls each other every now and then, chat damn near to every day. If you ask advice, I readily give it to you. Fans is when you admire what I do and you know what I do. So, and Terry Brown, he's on the verge of being a friend. We chat all the time, but I've never met him. And, but he seems to be a pretty good guy. But he followed me and he bought merchandise. So you can be a neutral decider here. What would you call that?
To me, that's a fan.
That sounds like a fan to me. So I don't take offense in being called a fan. I'm a fan of Roland Orbison of Tears for Fears. I'm a fan of Ric Flair, even though he's had his demons. I was a fan of Ric Flair, but we're also friends. But I was a fan first.
I will say that if we knew each other from high school and we saw a couple of movies together and hung out a few times and you called me your fan, I would be pissed about that.
Of course. Yeah.
I think you need to start calling. I think you need to start calling Fred's fans.
And I've done people like that. They'll see me out and go, girl, look here, this guy's a big fan of mine, and I've known him for 30 damn years. And just put people on the spot. And so, no, it's been done. But Perry really seemed to take offense to that yesterday, and I hope he don't get mad that I'm calling him out by name, but he's not, because now he's being talked about on a podcast. He's a big deal now. He's being heard all over the world. Kenny Bolin's mentioning his name. Well, guess what, Terry? You're a fan. What do you think of that, boy? You're a fanboy is what you are.
You should start calling all your waitresses fans, too.
Some of them are.
They love you so much, they keep bringing you food and drinks.
Oh, they give me food, and some of them I pay for services. I don't want to get into that.
All they ask for in return is money for the food and a tip.
That's all they want. Well, if they're wanting money for the food, most of them are in deep shit. I can't name the last time I paid for a meal in Louisville, Kentucky. As a matter of fact, I went to Evansville and met Vince Russo down there and got $254 worth of food for there must have been 8-9 of us down there by the time Russo brought his family. I never told him it was going to be free, though. I just let him think that I was going to try and put all this on him, and I brought him a book and a T-shirt and some things. So the bill comes, and I'm looking at him. I said, God, surely to God, being as I drove down here, you got this, don't you? Oh, sure, King, I got this. And even Russo calls me King, so don't feel bad. So I got this, King. You did drive all the way here. And he's reaching in his wallet going for a card. I said, well, what do you got in there? How much cash you got? Oh, I'm going to have to pay for this with a card, Kenny. No, what kind of cash you got in there? Let me see. So I'm looking in there, I'm reaching in his wallet, and I pull out like $30. And he knows goddamn well that ain't going to cover the bill. I said, that ought to do it. What do you mean that ought to do it? I said, well, we got to tip the guy. Well, we've got to pay for the meal too. Do we? As a Mr. Manager, do I got to pay for all this? Oh, no, Mr. Bolin, your money's no good here. No, we appreciate your service. Thank you very much. Could I have an autographed copy of your book? I said, here, I just signed one for Mr. Russo. Take his. So I reached over and took his book to the manager. There you go. I said, you don't mind trading that book for a $254 meal, do you? Oh, no, King. No, you mail me another one. I said, all right, I'll do that. Which I had him one in the car, obviously. And so we handed him the signed book and a pair of Beats, and that covered our meal. and Russo, he said, what's the $30 for? I said, well, you don't think I'm going to let you get out of here without tipping the guy, do you? So he tipped the waiter $30, and I pitched in another $20 on it. So the waiter got a $50 tip. And that was it. So that's how that meal worked.
I've been talking about a big announcement that I've been wanting to make. I was going to make it, I think it was on the Guests of Cookie's Future episode, which was the last one that I put out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to make that announcement right now. Well, as a matter of fact, I'm not going to make it. I'm going to let Kenny make it for me. You want to take it away?
You're going to let me make it, because that was real funny that you said I'm going to make that now, because you really cut me off just in time. I was going to say, no, you're not. You're not going to make it yet, and there's a reason. I had a lengthy... we've been teasing something big that might be about to happen, and we're going to have to hold off on that tease, because I had probably about a 90-minute conversation with Vince Russo last night. And I've thought about everything that we talked about. We covered a lot of shit. We covered a lot of issues, a lot of things going on. Most of you that follow me out there know what I'm talking about.
Oh, real quick, if nobody knows who Vince Russo is, he's a former writer for the WWE and for WCW. He's real famous in the podcasting world, especially in the wrestling side.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a show on Podcast One. He has his own network called The Brand.
Yeah,
the Realm Network. So I just want to make sure I catch everybody up just in case.
Well, as they say these days, Google it. Google it.
There you go.
Who are you? You seem to be famous. Who are you? Google me, bitch. You know, what I normally tell them. As politely as I can. Google me, bitch. And but I had about a 90-minute conversation with him, so we're going to have to hold off on that announcement. I will make an announcement, and trust me, I did everything I could to resolve any issues that me and Mr. Russo had, and I did the best I could. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold off, and we're going to make that announcement on January the 2nd. That seems to be a good day. We'll let New Year's Day get out of the way. So January 2nd, we'll make the announcement sometime that day. I'm sure it'll be afternoon. And all I can assure you right now, Jason, is that me and you will be working together even more a lot more in 2018. And that's really all I'm at liberty to say right now. Where that will be at, people will find out on January the 2nd.
Sounds good.
And it sounds good because you don't even know. You're going to find out yourself. But if I tell you, it's like a telephone, telegraph, and tell a woman. Everybody knows. So I'm going to hold off, and you'll find out on the 2nd with everybody else. There's two people that know what my future is with Russo brand right now, and that's me and Russo. So, but I've been trying to get him to fire me for like 4 months. So I think people might see what direction this thing's going in. But I didn't want to work with that piece of shit I've been working with, and I told him that wasn't going to happen. And he tried to make a stand and say, "Well, if you don't work with him, you're not going to do the shows." Well, I ain't working with him, so we'll see how all this plays out, I guess. But January the 2nd, we'll make our announcement. But trust me, I will land on my feet like I always do. I know I might be a big fat son of a bitch, but apparently I got 9 lives and the balance of a cat because I always land on my feet.
Well, is there anything you'd
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Well, if you're listening to this on Facebook or Twitter, please go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. It's literally available anywhere podcasts are available, on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, SiriusXM, Spoke app, Spotify. You don't want to miss out on what's coming up in 2018, trust me. That's it for this episode. I'll be back on Thursday to crown a 2017 Dumbass of the Year.
Thanks for listening. Tell your friends about the show and leave a review. See you next time.
So what have you been up to?
Stuff.